This is our daily video for short-term trading purposes. My name is JC De Guzman. I'd like to mention that everything that we're going to discuss in this video is for short-term trading purposes. Even if once in a while you will hear me discussing an index company, take note that it's still meant for short-term trading purposes. If you're seeking advice for long-term investing, make sure that you click the long-term investing tab or ask in our private clients forum. So after giving you my technical analysis for these 10 stocks, I will also give you my overall sentiment together with my recommendations. I'd like to say 3 reminders. First, if you are yet to enter a new position in any of these 10 stocks, do note that you have an extra process that you must go through, and that is the calculation of your reward to risk ratio. Even if the 10 MACD combo is valid, or even if the momentum power indicator is bullish, if you are not satisfied with your reward to risk ratio, there's still no sense entering or doing a test buy. Now, number 2, if any of these 10 stocks begin at a price lower or higher than the dominant range that you are about to see, make sure that you post a request for that stock's latest trade and volume distribution and true market sentiment charts in our private clients forum. It goes without saying that you will only have to do that if you are interested in trading that name. Okay, so there you go for those reminders. Let's begin with Security Bank. SECB closed on Thursday at 192 pesos per share. Support is at 184.6. Resistance is at 213.5. I like the perfect bullish alignment of the 3 simple moving averages. I'm using 10, 50, and 200-day SMAs. Foreign investors registered an outstanding net foreign buying worth 229 million pesos. The 10 MACD combo is not yet valid because MACD is still moving below the signal line. The good news is that MACD is already upward sloping, meaning to say there is a formation of a bullish convergence between the MACD and the signal lines. RSI is upward sloping. It still scored 65%. It still has more room to inch. It still has more room to, it still gives Security Bank more room to make some attempts to inch closer to the resistance at 213.5. The risk level of Security Bank remains low. The positive DMI is hovering the negative DMI, but the ADX is still below 25 points. So I cannot say, categorically speaking, I can't say that Security Bank already has a strong upward momentum. It must register maybe a price higher than 200 pesos per share for ADX to get a 25-point score. Now let's take a look at the traded volume distribution chart. The dominant range of Security Bank on Thursday was between 189 to 192. That makes the momentum power indicator bullish. The true market sentiment chart, or the true market sentiment of Security Bank, is bearish. Nonetheless, given all of those oscillators that are upward sloping and the bullishness of our momentum power indicator, despite the invalid status of our 10 MACD combo, my overall sentiment for Security Bank for short-term trading purposes remains bullish. So if you have a position on Security Bank and if it's still trading above your trailing stop loss, you have a data-driven reason to add more shares. For those who are yet to enter a new position, you know the drill. Take note of that extra process that you must go through. If you're going to proceed in doing a test buy, do it within the dominant range, and don't forget to be on top of your trailing stop loss, your TSL. Next, PLDT. It closed on Thursday at 1,164 pesos per share. Support is at 1,102 or 1,103. Resistance is at 1,203. The 10 MACD combo is already valid. RSI is in the neutral level. The risk level remains low. The negative DMI is still hovering the positive DMI, but there's a formation of a bullish convergence between the two DMI lines. But we might only see the positive DMI crossing above the negative DMI once PLDT crosses above the resistance at 1,203. For now, even the foreign investors um, are still anemic, so to speak. On PLDT last Thursday, they registered a net foreign buying worth 4.6 million pesos only. The dominant range of PLDT on Thursday was between 1,140 all the way to 1,164. That makes the momentum power indicator bullish for PLDT. The true market sentiment of PLDT on Thursday was neutral. So, as far as the status of our 10 SMACD combo and momentum power indicator are concerned, I would say that I'm already bullish on PLDT. In the short term, you can do a test buy because our two signals are already present. Do a test buy within the dominant range. So you can go ahead with that. Test it, test the methods. Just make sure that you are on top of your trailing stop loss, because sometimes, no matter how data driven you are, no matter how bullish your data driven forecast is, when the market contradicts that forecast, you must adapt to that and be able to adjust your action plan. And we are protected, you are protected if you are following my advice of securing your trailing stop loss. Don't just be an expert when it comes to buying or spotting buy signals. Be equally expert as well when it comes to selling. Okay? After PLDT, we got CHP. CHP closed on Thursday at 3.27. Support is at 2.88. Resistance is at 3.6. I like the perfect bullish alignment of the three simple moving averages also. Foreign investors registered a net foreign buying worth 36 million pesos. The 10 SMACD combo is present or valid. RSI is still far from the classical overbought level. There's still more room for CHP to inch up closer to the resistance at 3.6, but let's see if that ascent in price is more likely to continue. Meanwhile, CHP has a low risk level or a moderate risk level due to its historical volatility score of 51%. The positive DMI is still hovering the negative DMI, but ADX is still 25 points below 25 points. So I can say that CHP already has a very strong upward momentum. Let's take things one resistance at a time. The trade and volume distribution shows that the dominant range of CHP last Thursday was between 3.18 all the way to 3.27. That makes the momentum power indicator bullish. The true market sentiment for CHP is bearish on the other hand. There's still some hesitation, but because of the presence of our the validation of our 10 SMACD combo and the bullish momentum power indicator, my overall sentiment remains bullish on CHP. Make sure that if you plan to add more shares or enter a new position, you can do that within the dominant range. Just be on top of your trailing stop loss. Do not forget to do an upward adjustment on your TSL when need be. There is no such thing as downward adjustment on your TSL. There's only one reason when you have to adjust the percentage of risk applied in the calculation of your trailing stop loss, and that is when you have spotted some signs of a weakening upward momentum. That's what I thought you when you attended the Evergreen Strategy in Trading the Philippine Stock Market seminar. That's in lesson number 6. Take a look at the handouts that I sent you for review purposes. After CHP, we're going to talk about Bloom. Bloom closed on Thursday at 11.9. Support remains at 11.15. Resistance is at 13 pesos per share. The 10 SMACD combo is, let's see, it's not yet valid, but it's at the brink of being revalidated because I think one more, as soon as Bloom touches 11.95 to 12 pesos per share, probably MACD will already then cross above the signal line, which will make the 10 SMACD combo valid once again. But for now, it remains invalid. RSI is in the neutral territory. The risk level of Bloom is low at the moment. The positive DMI already crossed above the negative DMI, but the upward momentum is not yet very strong because ADX is still moving below 25 points. So blue must break this midterm. There's a resistance somewhere at 12 as a precursor to 13. It must break above 12 pesos per share. Okay, for us to say that this ascent in price is sustainable, relatively speaking. Now let's take a look at the dominant range. With respect to its closing price of 11.9 on Thursday, I would say that the dominant range was between 11.6 to 11.9. 11.6 to 11.9. If it starts at a price lower than 11.6, monitor the price between 11.3 to 11.5. But in this case, the momentum power indicator remains bullish. The true market sentiment of Bloom is neutral. So my overall sentiment in here, since the momentum power indicator is bullish, I would say that I'm still neutral because I prefer Bloom to break above 12 pesos and for the 10 SMACD combo to be revalidated for me to have a complete bullish stance on Bloom as far as our methodologies are concerned. Okay, now if you're planning to enter a new position, I think you are better off doing that once the price breaks above 12. Provided the 10 SMACD combo is still valid and the momentum power indicator remains bullish once it breaks above 12. That's my advice. Okay, now if you have had Bloom and it's still trading above your trailing stop loss, my suggestion is that you should only entertain the idea of adding more shares or topping up once it breaks above 12. Okay, so after Bloom, we're going to discuss Abacor. So Abacor closed on Thursday at 0.97. It managed to maintain its position above the support at 0.94. Resistance is at 1.09. I like the perfect bullish alignment of the three simple moving averages. Foreign investors registered a net foreign buying worth 12.4 million pesos. However, the 10 MACD combo is not yet valid because MACD is still moving below the signal line. But I am seeing a formation of a bullish convergence between the MACD and the signal line. You may see this already upward sloping somehow. RSI is also upward sloping, but it's still playing inside the neutral territory. The risk level of Abacor remains high. The positive DMI already crossed above the negative DMI. Although ADX is above 25 points, I can't say that the upward momentum is already very strong. We can only get there once the price breaks above 1.09 while maintaining the ADX score above 25 points. But for now, for me, this is more like a neutral position for Abacor. But let's take a look at Abacor's trade and volume distribution chart. The dominant range on Thursday was between 0.91 to 0.97. That makes the momentum power indicator bullish. The true market sentiment for Abacor is neutral. Okay, so my overall sentiment for Abacor is also neutral. Okay, so it has just re-entered the range between 0.94 to 1.09. So in this particular case, I would suggest that you should only entertain the idea of doing a test buy. You know that the 10 MACD combo is not yet valid, but the momentum power indicator is bullish. So what did I tell you during the evergreen strategy in trading the Philippine stock market seminar? What did I tell you then? You can skip the 10 MACD combos validation if you only regard yourself as an experienced and a disciplined trader, provided the momentum power indicator is bullish. So where are you in that condition? Did you pass that condition? If you did, you can do a test buy. Okay? So I'm still neutral on Abacor. After Abacor, we're going to have Mega World. These are now the top 5 losers. So Mega World broke below the support at 5.86. It's now trading at 5.75. Resistance is at 5.86. Support is at, we can plot the support line somewhere here. Okay, let me remove this Fibonacci. We don't need this yet. So there is a support waiting at 5.4 as a precursor to 5.05. Right. Again, resistance is at 5.86. Foreign investors registered a net foreign selling worth 206 million pesos. That's a huge one. The 10 MACD combo is invalid. RSI is downward sloping. It's moving toward the classical oversold level. The risk level of Mega World remains low. The negative DMI is still moving above the positive DMI. ADX is at 21 points. So a few more points away from getting the confirmed strong downward momentum for Mega World. So the dominant range of Mega World on Thursday was between 5.75 to 5.87. So actually it's 5.75 to 5.98. Still, the momentum power indicator is bearish. The true market sentiment for Mega World was bearish as well. So I'm bearish on Mega World. That's my overall sentiment. Don't enter a new position. Don't top up. And by now, your trailing stop loss must have already been hit. So be in a wait and see mode. Wait for some signs of bullish reversals. That's lesson number 1. Evergreen seminar attendees. Review your handouts. After Mega World, we're going to discuss FB. It closed on Thursday at 101.7. Support is at 98.6. There's a mini resistance. Let me plot these lines here. Okay, so there's a mini resistance at 104, maybe 105. Yeah, at 105. Support is at 98.6. There's a resistance at 105 as a precursor to 113.5. The 10 MACD combo is, let's confirm this, 101.77. The 10 MACD combo is already invalid because the last price is already trading below the 10 SMA. Okay, RSI is downward sloping. Foreign investors registered a measly net foreign buying worth 2 million pesos only. The risk level of Bloom is low. The negative DMI is hovering the positive DMI, but ADX is less than 1 point away from getting that 25-point score. So one more red candlestick and the downward momentum will officially become very strong. The dominant range of FB on Thursday was between 101.7 all the way to 102.4. The momentum power indicator is bearish. The true market sentiment last Thursday was bearish as well. So I remain bearish on FB. There are no buy signals yet. Stay on the sidelines. Don't rush. Then after FB, we got MRC. It closed on Thursday at 0.315. Support is at 0.30. Resistance is at 0.37. The 10 MACD combo is invalid. There's already a perfect bearish alignment among its 3 simple moving averages. RSI is downward sloping, still moving toward the classical oversold level. The risk level of MRC remains low, but the negative DMI is still hovering the positive DMI. ADX is 4 points away from getting the 25 points, which will lead MRC to strong downward momentum once the ADX becomes 25 points. The dominant range on Thursday was between 0.315 to 0.32. The momentum power indicator is bearish. The true market sentiment for MRC is also bearish. So my overall sentiment remains bearish too. Don't rush, don't enter a new position as well. And it doesn't make sense advising you to hold your position because by now, none of you should have a position on MRC unless you disrespected the methodologies that we have here. Next, we got LR. LR closed on Thursday at 3.47, support is at 3.19, resistance is at 3.8. The 10 MACD combo has already been invalidated. So the 10 MACD combo is invalid, just a clarification. RSI is downward sloping, moving toward the classical oversold level also. The risk level remains low, but the negative DMI is still hovering the positive DMI, and ADX is less than 1 point away from getting the 25 points. When that happens, LR will already have a very strong downward momentum label. So the dominant range of LR on Thursday was between, let's double check here, between it was force closed at 3.47. So the dominant range was between 3.47 to 3.53. The momentum power indicator is bearish. The true market sentiment of LR is neutral. So there's no appetite to buy the dips yet. So my overall sentiment is bearish on LR. Stay on the sidelines as well. Just wait and see until we spot those confirmed buy signals, the 10 MACD combo and the momentum power indicator. Last in this video is MHC. It closed on Thursday at 0.65. It's now at the brink of maintaining its support or its position above the support level at 0.65 also. Resistance is at 0. Let me plot this horizontal line first. 0.77, that's your resistance. Once it breaks below 0.65, the next resistance is somewhere, the next support rather, is somewhere near 0.57 as a precursor to 0.5. The 10 MACD combo is already invalid. RSI is downward sloping, still moving inside the neutral territory. The risk level of MHC is already high. Now, the positive DMI is still hovering the negative DMI in ADX. Even though ADX is above 25 points, I can't say that the upward momentum is still very strong. I'm more of a bearish in this case since the price bounced away from 0.77, which is now moving at 0.65. That's nowhere near having a strong upward momentum. Okay, take a look at this. The true market sentiment for MHC is bearish. There were only 7 players or 7 brokers that traded MHC on Thursday. My overall sentiment on MHC is bearish. Stay away from MHC for now. I myself am not interested to trade MHC given this flimsy volume. No way. So there you go for my technical analysis for these 10 stocks. I'd like to mention that those of you who will be attending or who already bought their tickets for the Evergreen Strategy in Trading the Philippine Stock Market Seminar in Cavite, Dasmariñas, Cavite, this coming Saturday. I'll see you on Saturday from 10 a.m. from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. The next Saturday, August 17th, I'll see you in Makati. My name is JC De Guzman. Bye for now.